Hey guys, so if you're watching this video on the day that I uploaded it, which according to my calculations should be August 18th, then you'll be excited to know that it's the first day of school! I'm actually filming this video on Monday, so I don't actually know how the first day of school went yet, so you'll have to wait until you see me next week until you know how it went. Brown. So with the new school year starting, that can only mean one thing. I have now completed 1 year of Ohio residency. Yay! So over the course of the last year living in this wonderful state, I've come to realize a few differences than what I'm used to from back in Pennsylvania. Some of those differences are words. Like, for example, I grew up identifying a certain object with a certain word. Now, as we move about the country, we come across different people who identify that same object, but with a different word. And since I've moved here, I've come to know some of the words that they use out here in Ohio that I'm not used to. And I would like to share a few of those with you today. Does this mean I'm going to use them? Well, only time will tell. We'll see. But here we go. This is one I heard of when I was younger. Baba used to refer to the vacuum cleaner as a sweeper, but other than her, I've come across no one else since I moved here that calls a vacuum a sweeper. So I put that one first because it was kind of on the fence. But on to the next one. I will never forget the time that a student said this in class, and I was utterly mortified once they said it. They had asked if they could have a sucker, and I looked at them like, what are you talking about? And apparently, I didn't know at the time, but it refers to a lollipop. So I didn't know that. Apparently there was a bin of lollipops behind the desk in one of the rooms that I teach in, and I didn't know they were there, and they had asked if they could have one. Of course, they called it a sucker, and I had no clue what they were talking about, because to me, sucker has a different connotation. That's right, someone who falls for a joke. You thought I was going to say something else, didn't you? Didn't you? This one actually just came up in context a few months ago, and it refers to high beams. I had never heard of anyone calling the high beam lights on your car that, you know, they call them the brights. I had never heard that before. It makes sense. No, it does make sense. I've never heard them called that before. I've always just called them high beams. And low beams are your normal headlights. So there's a lesson for you kids. High and low beams. Low beams are the normal headlight. Just move on to the next one. Let me just say that out of all of the words on this list, this is the one that I have the most problem with. Because if you look here, and 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 oh, hi, Carla Janice, what are you doing in here? Moving on. Everywhere that you look, companies that produce carbonated beverages refer to them as soda, even on their merchandise. Where on earth does somebody get pop? Pop is what I call my father, not what I call the drink that I put inside of me. Part of me will never understand this, despite the fact that, as I just said, it says on the bottles, soda. Every company that markets this stuff calls it soda. I don't understand why we need to have a gray area around the world. Don't they call it like Coke down south? And I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me, especially since I just said the company's branded as soda. I don't know. It's just one of those things that I'll never understand. So those are just the few words that I've come to know since living out here. I'm pretty sure I'll learn more, and I said I might start using some of them. Except pop. I will never ever call soda pop. Never. I mean, cream pop? Does that make sense? Cream soda. Seriously, okay? I'm done with my rant. Okay, rant over. But anyway, guys, that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really hope it kind of made you think about vernacular across this country and how it really depends where you live and how it changes, even within a country like this. Across the country, we could call something completely different, but yet it means the same thing. I just find it really interesting, even if there's parts that I don't agree with. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Best of luck to all of those returning to school this week or next week or whenever that may be. God bless, and I will see you all next week.